that he talks about is variability. Now, variability is something that we need to understand very closely because variability in manufacturing and variability in knowledge industry is completely different. In manufacturing, variability is a Hello everyone, welcome to another video of your personal coach. I am Devupam Sanil with you. So today we are going to talk about theory of constraint. I know this must have come across your path if you are in a lean journey, if you are trying to transform anything, if you are trying to improve your organization. So you must have heard about this term of theory of constraint. So this was generally something which came from Elia Goldratt, an Israeli physicist who turned into a management guru, and he gave this concept of a theory of constraint. However, this has been worked upon by several other management students and the students of organization psychologists, organized psychologists, and so forth. So this is not something very new to you probably, but I want to ensure that we understand the basic version of it. What does it mean? What can we do? And what actually the constraint talks about? And something that we all need to learn the difference from difference in constraint from a manufacturing point of view and from to a knowledge work point of view, right? So let's get it. So what this theory of constraint is, we would take the version of the Goldratt, and what he said is very unique and fundamental to constraint is when organization thinks about from department wise or segment wise and do not consider the organization as a whole. So we have a fragment view or opinion or point of view of an organization rather than the holistic view of organization. We run into the theory of constraint, right? We do not understand what's going on in the whole picture. We just see some part of it, the pieces, and then we get into this trip. Now, so what can we do? Now we say that okay, this is the problem, and why don't we fix it? The problem that Goldratt found was that we are too busy with the demands that we have in present that we hardly look into the future to fix it, right? So we know that we need to fix these problems. These are the problems, and that could improve our future, that could better our future. However, there is so much of demand in the present that we generally trade off the betterment, continuous improvement to meet the present demand. So we have so much of work. Okay, you must have heard this plenty of times when you have been dealing with when you're trying to transform a team. The moment you say something, let's do this, we don't really have time. We have so much of work, so much of backlog, and that's the basic of theory of constraint. We say the demand of the present is being prioritized and we trade off with the betterment of future, and that's from where the constraint actually originates, right? And that's very basic of it. So what do? We do understand that these are the challenges. So we need to ensure, we need to keep 5 things in mind about this, that how can we tackle it. The first one is that we need to have product or services, whatever you are dealing with, we have to deal with the product and services that solve customer problems. So your focus isn't to just build something, right? I mean, if you're focusing on to build anything, I mean, okay, I have a product, I will definitely to build a phone, so I'll just build a phone, right? So that won't give you any success. What we need to do is, this phone must be solving some of the customer problems, right? Those unsolved area, we need to go into that unsolved area and say, okay, we are solving customer problem by providing this product or service. That's number one. Number 2 is to understand the market demand, right? So we need to constantly and frequently deliver these product and services as per the market demand. It's not that if we deliver products which are, for example, what happens if somebody releases an MP3 player now, Does it make sense? Do we have marketing? It's still a product, but because we have everything on our phone now, we don't even have. We used to have this. I remember when I was young, and we had this multimedia phone. We used to store songs in our phone and listen to it. Even that era is gone, right? I mean, we don't even store songs on our phone any longer. We have access to so many other apps which on cloud, so we don't really waste our memory, whether it's Spotify, Amazon Music, whatever it is, right? So you listen there, you don't even really store anything on your phone, right? So that's the beauty of it. Podcast or everything is now no longer on your phone. It's in cloud. It's in another app. You go to that. All you do is get that app. Once you get that app, that's all it takes on your phone hardware, right? So if we have another device for music, that's just doesn't make sense, right? So we need to ensure that we follow the market demand, and that's demand changes very frequently. When it changes very frequently, what happens is that you need to understand and ensure that you follow those trends and constantly, frequently and consistently release those products. The third that he talks about is variability. Now, variability is something that we need to understand very closely, because variability in manufacturing and variability in knowledge industry is completely different. In manufacturing, variability is something which is unwanted, because when we are manufacturing something, we want the variability to be reduced as much as possible. However, that does not really work in knowledge industry. In knowledge industry, variability is an inherent part of how we function, right? I mean, it's in VUCA world, and that's what knowledge industry stands for. That's what knowledge industry is there for, to tackle the unpredictability, uncertainty, and probably there are other things in management that we need to do. That is, predicting this unpredictability or uncertainty. How do we do that? How do we better manage it? These are the things that we need to do. However, eliminating the variability is something that we do not do in knowledge industry. So that's something that we have to be very sure of. The fourth point, they spoke about measuring success, and this is something very elementary. However, people make so many mistakes. I've written a LinkedIn article about it, about measuring success. What should we do? And I'll put the link below. Basically, what I talk about is that why you should measure success, right? I mean, and how you should do it. So it's about, if you are measuring success, basically what you're trying to do, you're trying to find answers to some question. What is that my customer thinking? What are my customer recommending my product to another people? Do I see people converting from a free product to a paid product? Whatever it is, whatever the questions are, these are the questions that we are trying to find answer to. In order to do that, what we need answers, and to that we do collect data. We collect data, and once we collect data, we leverage those data to understand the customer behavior, what customer wants, what customer doing, what they want, what they do, what they say, right? And once we do that, we take action for continuous improvement, and that's exactly how customer, how do we measure customer success. And I do recommend we go and check out the article. It explains in a holistic approach, right? So that's what we do in product thinking or in lean thinking. The fifth part is to reward those people who are following the process, right? So these are obviously tedious. These are not easy. If you get going, as we spoke about, when we will always prioritize the demand of the present, not the betterment of the future. So that's something that we need to think about, right? Now, in the second stage, which we will probably cover more in another section of the video or another video, but today I'm going to talk about a bit about what we do actually to tackle this, to handle this constraint, right? So there are 3 steps basically, which we have talked about. If you have read other lean articles, lean books for Toyota principles, you might have come across this so many times. But just to reframe it and put it into the context, so that we have that context for the next video, and how do we manage constraint, is first, what to change to, what is my future state, what do we want to become. So from an organizational point of view, that my team or my organization wants to become like this, right? That's my future vision state. for example, if you take it a personal example, I want to be muscular, so that's my future. Okay, I imagine myself to be a muscular person who's trying to do all that stuff, right? So that's my future state. I'm trying to do bodybuilding and all that. Okay, don't take it seriously. I'm envisioning it, but just for your understanding. The second part is, in order to do that, in order to reach that, what I need to change. So I'd say, okay, I need to shred my weight and gain some muscle, right? So that's what this is the change that I need. I need to change what? My weight and my muscles, maybe, right? So even from organization point of view, would say, okay, these are the behavior that I would like to change. Maybe we need to do more collaboration, cooperation, get rid of all those argument and all that stuff, whatever it is. So we are going to get rid of those and try to be more collaborative, and that's what we want to change. Now, how do we change? That's the process. Okay, these are the things that we need to change. The how part is something that we need to be very careful about. We'll see what can we do, how can this be done. But before we reach the how, we need to ensure that we know the future state and what to change to. What are those things that need to be changed. And once we carefully understand those two things, we can delve into the how part, right? So I hope that makes sense what we are trying to talk about constraint, and from Mr. Coulter's point of view. We'd continue on the how part, what how is and how can we actually improve, and we'll come with the video very soon, probably this week. And till then, take care of your health, keep learning and keep exploring, and I shall see you.